Ladies and gentlemen, today we have major breaking news. There's been a DC shooting, and it just forced the White House into lockdown. That's right, things are getting more and more chaotic and honestly terrifying in Donald Trump's America. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, today, we're just gonna jump right in to this major breaking story. There's been a shooting in DC that's led to the White House being locked down.
News we want to get to out of Washington, D.C. A Secret Service spokesman tells MS Now that two National Guard members were involved in a shooting near the White House this afternoon. At least one of them was struck, and the White House is currently on lockdown. Joining us, MS Now Justice and Intelligence reporter Ken Delaney, and along with MS Now National Security and Intelligence analyst and former FBI supervisor Rob D'Amico. So, Ken, what exactly do we know?
Basically just what you said, Katie. This shooting, I'm told, occurred near the White House in a place called Farragut Square in downtown D.C. We're seeing video on social media of police rushing to the scene. I checked in with the Secret Service because they protect the White House and was told that two uniformed National Guard members were involved in a shooting. At least one of them was struck. Their condition is not known. The nature of the incident was not known by this person. It's being handled by the D.C. police, not the Secret Service, because they've decided there's no nexus to the White House, no threat to the White House. So the circumstances of this incident are unclear. Remember, of course, that uniformed National Guard are regularly patrolling the streets of Washington, having been deployed there by President Trump. That's subject to a legal fight. Actually, 5 days ago, a judge ordered the Trump administration to halt that deployment. That's still being litigated. But again, so all we know is that two uniformed National Guard members involved in a shooting, one was struck. The condition of that person is unknown at this time.
Yeah, so the AP is reporting that two National Guard members were struck, the two that were involved. Again, that differs a little bit from our reporting. We'll see if that gets updated. Ken, you were saying that your sources have said there's no nexus. The FBI is saying no nexus. What does that mean?
The Secret Service, meaning there's no investigative, there's no angle for them to investigate this. They've already concluded there was no threat to the White House or the president. It's a shooting that occurred in D.C., and so it's being investigated and responded to by the D.C. police, not by the Secret Service. It remains to be seen. I've also checked in with the FBI. It's unclear at this point whether they will get involved. But right now, the D.C. police is responding, Katie.
All right, so the president is not in Washington right now. He's not at the White House, even though the White House is on lockdown. He, is in Florida for the holiday break. J.D. Vance is, in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. In terms of how hard it is to investigate situations like this, Ken, Rob, actually, who ends up taking the lead when you have a shooting? And Capitol Police might normally deal with this sort of thing, but you have a shooting so close to a place like the White House.
That's a lot of the information we have so far, but we also have some new footage. Here you can see some clips of the mayhem, the aftermath of this disaster. You can see people rushing to help this person who's obviously been shot. And you can see another being airlifted to a hospital. Trump has since issued a statement calling the alleged shooter an animal. This is absolutely tragic, and we will keep you updated. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.